Hi, welcome back. This is Adventures with Dr. Joe. Do you have doors that aren't closing properly, that aren't latching? With time, doors tend to sag and the latch doesn't go into the opening of the striker plate. So what's happened? Well, there's probably been some settling here, or the door itself is literally just sagging just a bit. If you listen closely, I'm going to lift the door up. That click signified that the latch went into that striker opening, but normally it's not because it's too low. So the door is lower than we want it. Now if we look at the door, we might see that the space between the door and the frame is more narrow at the top, which it is, and wider at the bottom. That again suggests that this door has tipped a little bit. So there's an easy solution to fix this. We're going to shim the hinge. Let's take a close look at the gap between the door and the frame. Look at that, narrow, and then it gets wider and wider and wider. And again, that suggests that the door has sagged. Let's take the hinge off. This door has 3 hinges. Some have 4. And if the sagging is really severe, we'll need to put a thicker shim down here and a thinner one here. Or if you've got 4 hinges, maybe we're going to need to shim the lower 2 hinges. But we use basically, I'm going to take these 3 screws out. And we're going to look at that hinge, and we're going to make a template to fit this hinge perfectly. So I have some fairly thin cardboard here, solid basically, and I'm going to use a fine tip marker . Mark out the border and mark out the holes. Then I'm going to mark where the hinge ends here. So there's our template. We're going to cut this out, punch those holes, and install it in this door. Okay, let's cut this out. I don't mind cutting a little inside the line, then you're not going to see it. And then we're going to cut a little of the edge off. And then we're going to punch these holes out. And I'd rather have the holes a little bit too big than not big enough. So I've got a hole puncher. We're just going to pop these babies out of here. And there's our shim. So let's install it and see if we fixed our problem. So we've got our little cheater here, our spacer. Gonna line our screws up and see if we can get this to fit in there. There's that. Okay, now the real test will be as if we fixed it. Here I want to show the exact fit of the spacer. Notice it fits just in line with this. You don't want any extra out, so it needs to be cut to fit. So that's the perfect shape and the size. Okay, here we go. First time, no pre-trial. And look, it's locked. Ha! So that works. So, yep, there it is. It's great. So over time, doors sag, and they typically sag, and then the latch becomes too low and doesn't go into the opening in the strike plate. When that happens, we can use a simple technique of shimming one or more of the hinges with some cardboard or some stiff, thick paper, something like that. Or you could use plastic if you've got some plastic. It's about 1.5 millimeters thick. That seems to be about a good thickness. And hey, if you found this useful, please click thumbs up. It helps the channel a lot. Consider subscribing. Thank you.